Good evening, everybody. Today is the 24th of February. Um, just want to do an update video. There were a couple people asking me questions and sharing some things on my last video from last week, and I get busy. There's a lot going on, um, and there's a lot to it. I'm not forcing anything. Uh, I'm juggling my responsibility in responding with also my responsibility to myself. So, how should I begin this video? I'm still in the works, guys. I'm putting together. This is my rough draft timeline board for the second part of uh, the continuation of what has transpired to bring me to now. Um, I left off in the last video with I had just found Hape. Hape came into my existence. And so I'm continuing that, but there's so much. I mean, it's really overwhelming because every day for me is life changing and perspective altering and widening of my understanding and deeper knowledge of who I am and my purpose. So, trying to integrate that back in, and then while moving forward and having to go back and relive and rehash and rethink all of these steps that have transpired. I mean, sometimes 10 different things a day. It's difficult. It takes a lot. So, but I am working on that. Like I said, I was. I have all kinds of things, notes, all kinds of things besides that board that I've been putting together. And so, in putting that together, I was working on it again tonight. I've only actually spent 4 separate times working on this. Again, because I got all this other stuff going on. But I've spent 4 separate times working on this, and I keep on finding myself having to go back and watch some of my older videos. And I had actually, on my last channel, Embodied Souls, I had made a bunch of videos for my kids, my nieces and nephews, and was posting those privately, so that way only they could see. But so in getting this timeline together, I'm finding I'm going back and just rewatching or just listening to bits and pieces of these videos, and the ones that I had clicked on this evening were a couple of the private videos that I made for the kids. And what I did was I went ahead and made them public on Embodied Souls. So I just switched them from private to public because I think it's important. I mean, I was inspired. My intuition kicked in, listening to those videos that they really did fill in sort of the timeline in my journey and my process. So I shared those 2 videos public, and I wasn't even thinking of doing this, but as I keep on going back and researching for this timeline video I'll be making, I will, if I get inspired or I feel, intuit that whatever private videos I have that would help people understand or, um, bring people hope, encouragement, inspiration, I'll share those videos and make them public. And I'm putting that in the comments section of those videos, the dates that they were originally posted, so that way you guys can see, when those videos transpired, so you can sort of fill in for yourself. Okay, well, back in December, over almost 3 months ago, this is where he was at, because, I had stopped making public videos for the most part. Um, So I'll go ahead and answer some of these questions as best as I can. I've read the comments, guys. Again, it's just so much. So let's see. I'll go through these comments. How did they come in 7 days ago? So the Vault of Remembrance said these are comments on my last video on this channel. What was the name of that video? How I arrived at this beautiful state of being. That was the first in my hopefully only 2-part series of timeline catch up for you guys. The Vault of Remembrance had commented, "Interesting, I've wondered about removing parasites through your frequency and will. I was entertaining this idea about a month or so ago, that if we are vibrating at a high enough frequency, they won't be able to inhabit our vessels. I'd like for you to go into this more if you can." So I had mentioned in my last video how, I guess I had mentioned how I got off my exact parasite protocol, you know, all the stuff I was taking, specifically to clean out parasites, because as I got deeper into my meditation, I noticed that my frequency was rising. And the reason it all came together, I mean, like, you don't even understand these things until you experience them. And then as you experience them, the mind can't logically understand it, but the heart has the answers, and it answers for you. And so, I had these creepy crawlies going all over me, and I'm like, what is going on? And, so what I realized was that my frequency, my vibration was rising through meditation, through, taking this time for myself, and really, being serious about, reclaiming my wholeness and healing. And so I was like, wow, man, I realized, because, see, part of my journey has been, you know, I come from the old man who was so rigorous and so disciplined in the way of doing things, because it was the right way and the only way. And so, of course, that comes from ego. And so, part of this whole process in the past several months has been breaking down that rigorous, this is how you do it, this is da, 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 this is what science says, that, oh, I got to do research. It's not. So what's been happening is I've been breaking that down, and in that process I've been tested constantly on whether I'm going to give up that mindset and those belief systems, and realize that there's a bigger picture, that there's more going on than, meets the eye, than the logical mind can understand through science and proof and all of that. The proof is in the experience, in your own personal experience. You don't have to prove it to anybody else. You only have to prove it to yourself. And so I never went into this intending to get rid of the parasites through frequency. It just came to me, and then it was a test, and it was like, okay, Richard, let's see how much you are willing to surrender yourself to the flow of life, to the universe, to how things actually work, outside of the science books, the textbooks, the experts, this, that, the other thing, the structured steps of healing, all of these things. And so I had to give that up. So as far as, what I did, that's what I did. I mean, I don't know what else to say. There's nothing more at this moment. I mean, I can really go into it more, but I got a lot more I'm trying to cover, and I will, in this next timeline, it'll be going into deeper on the whole mindset and how that shifted and how that affected my frequency and how that's affected, who I am now, and how it has left the past. But the past, I'm more involved in the past than ever, but I give gratitude for it now. So it's completely changed the whole perspective and how it affected me before. You guys saw for 2 years I was going over the past, and I was just like, you know, I was angry, I was upset, I was pissed off, I was resentful. Whereas now, everything in my past I give gratitude for, every single piece of it. And that's where the power lies, because the power lies within us. We can't change the past, we can change how we view in our perspective on the past, and that's how we continue to grow and get further in our journeys. Also, where did you buy your natural clothing? Is it online or somewhere locally? Wanting to explore affordable options for me and my family. So, what I did was I didn't go out and buy any more clothing. I actually got rid of a lot of my clothes. See, I've had clothes when I had my first business, my book business back in my mid 20s, early to mid 20s. I had all right at the end of that business, I had gotten into other things besides just books, and I was buying like clothes in bulk lots to resell and all kinds of other things. But most of my clothing I've held on since then, and we're talking that's 20 years ago. So I've carried these things with me for 20 years. They've survived. And then the only place I've really bought clothes since then is at Goodwill, Salvation Army, yard sales, flea markets. So I get, my clothing for like $1, $2. I mean, the most I pay for any type of clothing usually is $3 or $4. Um, and so what I did was I just went through and sort of filtered out and got rid of a whole bunch of whatever had polyester in it. But see, like I say that, but just that way you guys can understand, all these old work shirts that you see me in, they're 50% cotton and 50% polyester. So, and I was at work today, so that's why I have this shirt on. But again, it's not giving all the credence to this one modality, this one way. Oh, I just need to have the right clothing, and then my life's going to turn out. I got to have the right clothing, take the right supplements, do this, do that, do that. See, that's part of the journey, guys, but it's not the whole journey. And I'm going to share something with you guys here at the end of this. That'll help you understand what I'm talking about. I might even have to do a separate video. We'll see, because this might get too long, but I don't know. We'll roll through this. The Vault of Remembrance then left another comment. I would also love to know more about your routine, how you were able to come out of the Rush Go survival program and slow things down. There is so much I'm looking forward to you going deeper on. Much love. Yeah, the Rush Go survival program. I mean, I'm still dealing with that. See, it's a constant thing. It's reprogramming the subconscious. It's shedding. You're literally shedding the old behaviors, the old man, everything. But again, you're not forgetting. You're embracing the old man, but you're shedding the habits and the mindsets and the thought patterns and the belief systems and all of that of the old man. And then one more thing, going back to the clothing too. So I got rid of a bunch of my old clothes. I mean, I've really honed it down. I need to hone it down. It's been on me this past week. I need to hone it down some more and get rid of a bunch more stuff. But yeah, so, I mean, the clothing gets so deep. That's another rabbit hole. I mean, it gets so deep, like you can't even mix clothing. Like if you have cotton shirt, all cotton, and then cotton is organic cotton, and then bleach cotton, and all this other crap. And then you get into like, okay, so if you got a cotton shirt and cotton shorts on, but then you put wool socks on, it all completely knocks, each other out. So you got the part of understanding how deep this journey goes is that you will get past all of this. Those are all rabbit holes and pitfalls for the old man. Now, they're necessary, I think, at least for me in my journey, and you'll see as I piece this timeline together, it's all necessary to prove to yourself that you're willing to do whatever it takes to do the right thing, to heal, to no longer be a burden on others on the planet, on yourself, and that you're going to actually respect and care about yourself. So, but then at the same time, what happens is when you really make those breakthroughs and you've proven to yourself these things, you get put in this position, and mine comes through usually through meditations where it hits you, or your intuition throughout the day, something will hit you, and that voice comes in, and you just know, hey, I no longer, because you don't have space for all these modalities, there's not enough time in the day. And so it's all about the forgiveness of self. And then you get even further into that and you realize there's no even forgiving, because there was nothing to forgive in the first place. It was all, it all brought you to this moment, this beautiful moment that is changing the course of your life to propel you forward on your path. And so then when that gets deeply ingrained in every cell and every fiber of your being, you just understand. I mean, that's where the whole gratefulness comes in. And then that's really where everything starts kicking in. Um, so then the one and only Klausy Klaustrom commented, "Hey Richard, hope you are doing well. Interesting idea regarding the removal of parasites using frequencies. I've tried parasite removal sound frequencies on YouTube before, and I did notice soon after a subtle improvement within myself and my environment. Perhaps it could have been a placebo effect. In any case, it further proves the power of our mind faculties." Yes, that is exactly right. It all comes back to the mind. It all comes back to the heart. It all comes back to connecting the mind and the heart. And that is the key, connecting the mind and the heart as one, and allowing the heart to settle the mind down and understand that there is so much more than just this physical, you know, this physical science and physical proof that has us into this mess in the first place. That's so, can get so confusing and keep you on the path of knowledge seeking for lifetimes, because it doesn't end. The knowledge just doesn't end. It's that deep. I mean, the magic of life is that deep. Um, by the way, and so again, going back to the removal of parasites, yeah, there's some great, like the Sound Healers. If you guys haven't come across the Sound Healers channel on YouTube, highly recommend them. I listen to them every day, man. I mean, there's days I've gone, from the time, because I listen to them all night while I'm sleeping. But yeah, check out the Sound Healers if you feel called to do so. I highly recommend them. But there's many channels. You'll see again all the conspiracy theory. The other side of the story saying, oh, they embed all kinds of bad things and they're trying to control you, and Satan and this and all the. It's whatever. You got to go off your intuition, see how you feel. Like he said, or I'm guessing it's a he, said that he felt like a subtle improvement. Again, guys, these are things that you can listen to just once. You can listen to just 5 minutes. I've had things I've listened to that are 3 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours long, and listened to the first 5 minutes and felt huge changes. But again, it's where you're at in your journey, how accepting you are, how much you are allowing that heart to override that mind, that thinking logical mind, and just accept and embrace the magic. I hope that makes sense. By the way, I recently had a strange but kind of funny dream, and I vaguely remember you being in it. We were talking in some random mall parking lot about a haircut you had just gotten that day, but you were somewhat upset because the lady who gave you your haircut didn't give you the haircut you had asked for, and you said something along the lines of, "That's the last time I get a haircut from a woman." Not sure if there's much meaning that can be extracted from that dream. If anything, it gave me a good laugh and goes to show the funny intricacies of the mind. Yeah. Yeah, again, I mean, you're understanding, those intricacies of the mind and how we're all connected. Yeah, I mean, I've had so many synchronicities, it's unreal, and my dreams have been off the charts. I mean, for the past 3 months at least, I'd say, I mean, multiple dreams at night, multiple. And at first I was fighting them, but then I came to accept them, um, in understanding that they were teaching me lessons. They were showing me deeper interest, giving me deeper introspection into things I needed to work on, things I've needed to face, and on and on and on and on. how to move forward, all of these things. So our dreams are speaking to us. They're your subconscious connecting with the rest of the ether and everything that makes up existence, because we're all connected. There's no separation, and you sharing that dream, I greatly appreciate. It has helped me in the past week since you shared that. And the synchronicities even went more off the charts since you sharing that. Um, and then so the Vault of Remembrance and the one and only Klausi Klaustrom got into a short conversation about so the Vault of Remembrance commented back to Klaus. Very strange you mentioned this dream, because I kid you not, Richard was in my dreams a couple months ago and he was at a mall. And Klaus commented back, "Oh, really? Yeah, dreams can be real weird like that. Not sure what dream state Richard is doing, spending all his time at malls, though. Maybe malls are supposed to represent the temptation of letting go of material possessions. Whatever the case, hope Richard is doing all right. I noticed he hasn't replied to my comment or uploaded any new videos." Yes, again, guys, I'm juggling a lot. And it's moving, propelling so quickly forward in my journey, but also understanding that I have my responsibility to my process, and to my purpose is to relay my experiences. And so have it, instead of keeping up with these videos, I fell off. And so then trying to make up this timeline for the past few months, it's like, so everything's been kind of crazy. But your guys' comments really help me sort through things a lot. So I do appreciate everything you guys comment. I appreciate you guys being vulnerable enough and courageous enough to share your dreams. Again, because it's caused so many synchronicities, and made me more aware of things, and made my dreams interrelated to, like, oh, I now I understand this, now I understand that. Vault of Remembrance commented back, "Indeed, I pay close attention to my dreams and even keep a dream journal. Dreams are really good insight into the subconscious. Some are even psychic in my case. A few interpretations of mall dreams that I've came across could mean choices and decisions in your life, reflecting your search for identity and preferences. It may indicate that you are at a point where you need to make important decisions or explore new opportunities." And what's funny, guys, is I don't recall. I'm sure I have had dreams in the past of being in a mall, but I don't recall any dreams of being in a mall until this morning. Before waking, I had a dream, and I was part of that dream. I was in a mall. So yeah, again, just all interrelated, connected, and there is something there for me to see, but I haven't taken the time to introspect deeper on that. But I appreciate you, Vault of Remembrance, for sharing, your understanding as to what that might mean, because it could help me when I do dive deeper into that. It could also represent longing for social connection and community. Yes, that's something I've been dealing with for sure. Community being just, people who are courageous and honest and open and willing to change their belief systems, willing to be humble, willing to humiliate themselves in the process to reclaim who they are and remember who they are from head to toe, their mind, body, soul, their heart, the whole thing. It honestly could mean anything, though, because after all, we are the interpreter. Exactly. I've also noticed a few times when Richard stopped making videos for a while, I would randomly have a dream of him and he'd be speaking to me. Then literally the next day he would upload out of nowhere. Yeah, I mean, we're all connected, guys, and you guys investing your time and attention into my videos and how it's helped you on your paths. It strengthens that bond that we have in the ethereal, in the existence of space, that there is no separation between us. We're just connecting deeper. That's all that's happening, and we're getting closer. Um, Whatever it is, it seems like we are both tapping into something. I find this no coincidence, and neither do I. And that's what the old man, that's what, this society has bred us into thinking, and what the logical mind tries to tell us, and then, and all that. But the heart knows. Again, the heart knows. So Klausy Klaus responded, I used to keep a dream journal too until I was recalling less and less dreams and eventually forgot all about it after a while. Yeah, so I keep 3x5s, 4x6s, a notebook beside my bed. Man, I do all kinds of things now, guys. I take mugwort. I drink mugwort tea at night now. Um, before I go to bed, after I say my affirmations, I'll say, I intend to have dreams tonight that I will be able to understand and unfold the meanings and metaphors within, that will help propel me forward in my journey, and things of that nature. So it's taking these things seriously, and getting rid of all doubt that, oh man, is what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, is it crazy? Is it really just synchronicities? Am I just losing my mind? Am I forcing these things to happen? You're getting rid of all of that. And as you get rid of all that, and you trust yourself more and more, and you trust in the process, and you trust in the universe, and you embrace the fact that there's no separateness, and that we're all connected, and that there's more than just these physical bodies and what science can tell us, then, and you get that deeper understanding, and you take that introspection and you embrace it, man, I'm telling you, everything just opens wide throttle open for you. It is really interesting the type of subliminal stuff our subconscious mind picks up on in our day to day. Your subconscious mind picks up everything. Everything, your subconscious, everything. You walk into a room, they've proven this, it's proven. You walk into a room, you literally, if you just walk in there for 5 seconds and walk out, and the room is just packed with people, packed with all kinds. Let's say you walk into a bar or whatever, your subconscious remembers everything. It just like a movie, it can replay everything. So you are able to access your subconscious at any given point in your life, and be able to remember exactly what happened. It's too much for the conscious mind to take in, and the conscious mind exists solely for the purpose of surviving in this moment, until we again make these changes and embrace, our wholeness. So yeah, the subconscious mind picks up on everything. That's why you got to be very careful what you surround yourself with, what if you're going out in public, if you're going to sporting events, if you're listening to music that isn't conducive to your healing, if you're watching TV or movies or anything that's taking your attention away from your focus of healing, and integrating, and getting to the truth of things, because it all requires your energy. It all is bearing down on you, whether you realize it or not. I notice the most seemingly insignificant events or people will often make a reappearance within a dream. Yeah, I don't get psychic dreams, but that sounds cool. Your dreams must be really immersive in that case. The meaning that makes the most sense regarding the mall setting in my dream is probably the one about longing for social connection and community. That's funny. Yeah. Since malls are usually where people go to hang out, and I lack that in-person social aspect of meeting like-minded individuals, which takes me back to the comment Klausy Klaus said in his dream about how I said I was upset about my haircut not being right, and I'll never get my hair cut by a woman again. That was probably me dealing with the past programming of having that resentment and that anger and that frustration and everything else towards the feminine energy, because that when I used to think feminine energy, I used to think toxic, 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 be on your guard, be careful, manipulative, they're selfish, all these things. But now that I've embraced the divine feminine and integrated the feminine in the masculine, it's, man, wow, the feminine's beautiful. So that could have been, just a sign of the healing that I was doing, and getting over that, you know, that portrayal of the woman, I guess. All in all, I agree that dream meanings are subjective. Yeah, I get you. Richard conveniently started to upload videos again during an emotionally turbulent time for me, which was really helpful in getting me through those tough times, and I don't see it as some sort of random coincidence either. Yeah, and I'm so glad you guys are here, man. I mean, really, I'm very grateful for the both of you. Uh, because this, I mean, these really mean a lot, guys. That longing for social connection and community is exactly this right here. Just these comments, allow me to see you guys on your journeys. So much is revealed to me in these short comments here, and it's much appreciated because you guys are real people. It's not like you have followings and YouTube channels with hundreds and thousands of people, and you consider yourself a whatever they call them. You're just real people who are searching for answers, who are looking to make the next step on your journeys, man. And that's truth. That's real. That's love to me. That just shows the power of our connectedness with all things, and when we humble ourselves and allow ourselves to be vulnerable and courageous. And so I just want to share something. Let me see. I'm almost done, guys. Oh, yeah, no, maybe I'll share this. One, no. Let me share this. Sorry, I intuited I was supposed to make this video, so you can see I'm not exactly ready. I don't have everything lined out. So the stages of spiritual awakening, I found this on some kind of post, I don't know, but I took a picture of it because this is exactly what I went through in my spiritual awakening, and this might relate to you guys. So the darkness, the first step was the darkness, questioning of what life is with feelings of despair, confusion, and frustration. And for me, it was, not only despair, confusion, and frustration, but anger, resentment, hostility, and on, regret. And then next comes the hermit isolation stage, a pull to spend time alone, a need to avoid small talk, a desire to find deeper meaning, plus questioning of everything. So, and then you guys can see through my videos how I went through that stage, and where I posted videos, proving and showing how all these things were wrong, how the psychological industry was wrong, how the meat industry was wrong, how, so I was putting all my time, energy, and attention into proving how all these systems were wrong, and I had to do it for my own mind, for my own sanity, to be able to keep on going, because it's like I needed to know that other people were seeing this and it wasn't just me, and that you know so I had to make those things right within myself, and I isolated myself. I didn't, up until in December, I think it was the first or second week of December, when I left my house for a week to go on a work trip to the beach. We had a client out there that we were working on her beach house for. So I finally got out of my house after 2.5, 3 years, whatever it was. Yes, that's the hermit isolation stage. And then stage 3 is the rebirth, awareness of the steady thought stream in your mind, the ego, which is what I started going through, about, I don't know, let's throw a rough time estimate on it, 10 months ago, in conditioning around who you are, and consciousness expanded. So right now I'm at the end, towards the late middle end of that stage, and at the beginning to middle, probably beginning of this stage, the 4th stage, which is the calling to spread healing, a deep, unavoidable pull to share your own story, practice healing modalities, or teach the collective of their true potential. So, it's sort of mixed in, because I've been sharing my story, my journey, but again, that, I don't know if that helps anybody, but, that's, so where I'm at now, again, so dropping that whole, the attention to the old ways and the systems and the constructs and all of these things, the embargoes on truth and all of these things that exist outside of us intentionally to keep us held down. When you realize, well, quit talking about them, quit thinking about them, quit giving them attention, quit, because that's just giving them your energy. What are you really focused on? Are you harboring resentment and hostility? Do you just want to stay in that pit for the rest of your life until the day you die, or are you ready to move on and embrace all the magic of life and what it has to offer and your true purpose? And so, in sharing the private videos that I just made public, um, on the other channel, you'll see. You'll see these were made on December 3rd and 4th, and you'll see I had just started talking to the kids about spirit guides. I was telling them, because I had, probably gotten into spirit guides about a month before, started, opening myself up to that and getting rid of that old man, belief system that, I can do it all myself, it's just me in the spirit world and I stand alone. And then, slowly understanding, wait a minute, if we're all connected. And anyways, so you'll see how I started getting opened up to spirit guides. I go into breathing, which again, modalities, but how it progressed. And then I even brought up Elon Musk and relating to others at where they are at while trying to move forward and get past all these things that I know no longer serve me, while at the same time knowing it's my purpose to bring into this reality and this physical existence and this physical incarnation the experiences in the knowledge that I'm getting in the insights and introspection from what life is really all about, the spirit, the ether, the connectedness, and all of that. So it's very difficult trying to ride that line. That's why, maybe that helps you guys understand why it's so hard for me to make these videos right now. It's because I'm having to go back through and make these timelines, while at the same time every day is just full of new changes and new beginnings and shedding of the old man, but embracing him even deeper so it's so much. And I tried leaving comments. My one comment on the one video got left, but man, I tried over and over leaving a comment on the other video, and it just would not leave one. But I think I finally, the last time I tried, a comment got left. And then I just want to share oh no, I want to share two more things. So, I don't know if you guys can see the teeth right there. I don't know if you remember, but when I had shared my teeth back, 8 months ago, I don't even know, guys. I'm sure you guys remember if you saw that video. They were bad when I had started taking care of my teeth. And so this is the progress I've made. It's almost gone. They're almost completely healed. So yeah, just wanted to share that. And then right before this, I had before this video, I sat in ceremony, in a Hape ceremony, meditation ceremony, and I did Katakina, Chakrona, and light work. And my intention was connect my head and heart so they can operate as one in full service to my higher self, trusting my path, myself, and surrendering to the flow of life, that I may share my gifts, take up space, and let myself be seen. And so what I do, I write my intentions. It sits on my altar while I'm doing my meditation. And then as soon as I come out of ceremony, before I even get up, I have a pin on my altar, and I write whatever comes to me right after getting out of ceremony. So this is what I wrote on the back of the card. Fully surrendering to the flow of life and my purpose, I move forward, embracing my purpose as a leader and a messenger with a pure heart and with pure intentions. My purpose is to share my gifts and my experiences. This is how I allow my light to shine in the darkest of places, bringing hope, encouragement, and inspiration to all. I know my path has led me to this juncture where I make the decision to unequivocally share all that others may see how imperfectly perfect this journey to wholeness is. I have integrated all aspects of myself with acceptance, understanding, and gratitude. With humbleness, confidence, courage, and gratitude, I take my next steps on this amazing transformation. I am abundant in all things, my cup runneth over, my light shines bright. So, yeah, just to share some things with you guys, as I'm intuiting, being more open up. Again, it's coming with that confidence. It's coming with integrating the spiritual and all my experiences I've been having back into this physical body, because it's very hard, man, when you see how beautiful and magical and perfect life is, and then you get back completely into your body, and you're just like, okay, now how do I take that introspection and that understanding and move forward through this tangled web I'm still trying to unravel, so it's difficult. It's difficult, but it tests your will. It tests your true intentions and what you really want and where your heart's really at, and if you're willing to truly let go of the old man and the old ways in order to trust fall, back into the arms of the universe. And so I hope that helps y'all. Again, leave questions, comments, and take care of yourself, guys.